What's going on, everybody? Welcome to today's video. Jesse here. I've got a good video for you guys that are looking to upgrade your bow setups. Maybe you've got an older bow that you want to upgrade, or you bought a new bow and you're looking to upgrade some of your older accessories. I'm going to be giving you my top 5 upgrades, something that I would do if I started from scratch. If somebody asked me, hey, what should I upgrade on my bow? These are what I would recommend. Before we get into anything, I will say you can get some good stuff off of Facebook. Get on some of the buy-sell trade groups. There's tons of stuff from bows, releases, sights, accessories, rests, anything that you could imagine. There's some really good stuff on there that you can get for cheap. A lot of it is basically brand new. Just maybe somebody didn't like it, or they ended up getting something else. So let's get right into the video. My top 5, it might be a little different from other things that you've seen, but for me, the first thing that I would upgrade on any bow is your sight. It's probably going to be your most expensive upgrade because it's the most important thing on your whole setup. You're looking at it the most, you're aiming with it, you're really depending on it to be durable and to stay sighted in once you get it set up that first time. Alright guys, so sights are, like I said, the most expensive accessory that you can put on your bow. And my number 1 upgrade, you're really just paying for quality and adjustability. You're going to have better materials, it's going to be more durable, your tighter tolerances, so your adjustments are going to be more fine and precise. But some things that I would look at when you're making this purchase is going to be getting a slider sight or a movable sight, so you can dial down to different yardages. Some things that I would also look at getting would be a light. If your state allows you to have a light when you're hunting, you can pick up lights. Some sites come with a light, and other sites are compatible, I guess. You can throw a light on anywhere from 20 to like 180, 200 bucks, depending on how high of quality you. Other things would be adjustable indicators for your different pins. You're going to want to have a micro adjust windage left and right. First, second, and third axis adjustments. This is going to be crucial if you're shooting any uphill or downhill shots. It's going to level your scope housing no matter what angle you tilt it. So it's going to eliminate left and right impacts, shooting those upward and downward angled shots, as well as having a sight that has a gang adjust on this sight rod here. Both of these do. This here is the Excel landslide. Pretty much you just basically crack whatever screw is there holding it. You can move it in and out, because some bows have thicker risers than others and you don't want to max out your windage. Another cool feature that this has too, on these higher end sights, is you can turn around and take a single pin out and you can throw in a different scope head in a matter of seconds, and now you have a multi-pin head, and it just gives you more variety. Number 2 for me is going to be a release. Now I know this might not be a bow accessory, but I think that this is a very important tool when you're shooting. A good release can really change your game, and I think that having something that's customizable and comfortable for you is going to help your shooting out a ton. There's some really good releases, especially on Facebook, that you can get, but if you're looking for brand new in that $100 to $250 price range, there's a ton of good options out there. But it's really just important that you find something that you like and feels comfortable to you. And what goes with that is adjustability. With this release, you can take this finger off. You can shoot it as a 2-finger. There's a 3-finger piece, 4 fingers like I have it here. You can also adjust the angle of this piece. You can adjust how much pressure it takes to push. You can adjust the travel, so how far you have to push it to get it to go off. Also, with this, you can see I have it at a slight angle. Some of these releases, you can angle the buttons. There's smaller buttons you can put on. You can adjust where this button is at, how far out it goes to. But like I said, just something that you can find that fits your hand and that you're comfortable with is really going to make you better at shooting. I have the smaller peg on here with this one, and different styles of releases. I'm really comfortable shooting a hinge, which operates on a sear. There's no way to make it go off besides rotating slowly, so this is pretty good for target panic. If you have target panic, like I said, can be a game changer if you find something that you like. Personally, I have a ton of releases. I'm probably addicted to releases, but I don't think that too many releases is a bad thing. Like I said, this is something that I recommend. I would take old accessories and a new release all day long, and that's why it's my number 2. So number 3 for me is going to be stabilizers. Many of you would think, hey, we're already 3 deep and we don't have a rest yet, but I really think that a good set of stabilizers, having a front bar and a back bar with weights and adjustment angles, is really important. You can take almost any bow and get it holding rock steady with a good stabilizer setup that you can adjust. For the front, I recommend at least having a 10-inch front bar. I have a 15-inch front bar on here. And on the back, I recommend at least having an 8 to 10. I've got a 10 on the back here. And it's really important for you to have different weights. I've got 1 ounce on the front, and I've got a stack of 6 out of the back. And 2, you can change how far out this is and up and down as well. That is really important on dialing in what feels best, and it's all personal preference as well as how the bow sets itself. Another tidbit too that really is an upgrade is having the ability to have a quick disconnect. How this works is it goes inside, the barrel goes inside the hole, and you tighten it down and it'll lock it down, which basically saves you from having to completely tighten or unscrew your stabilizer into your bow. You can see I have one on the front here as well, especially if you have to take your bow apart to put it into a case. It's very easy to just take those on and off in a matter of seconds. So number 4, as you could guess, is going to be your rest. The reason it's number 4 is because I've shot everything from whisker biscuits to a blade rest to drop away rest, and they all get the job done. With the rest, it's not extremely high on my priority list, just because once you have a rest set, it's pretty much good. But there are some advantages that you can have to having a higher end rest. This is a limb driven drop away. I recommend if you're going to spend money on a rest, I would get some sort of a drop away rest. This one here is limb driven, and it stays down until the bow gets pulled back and it brings your arrow up. Once it's released, it drops down out of the way. But you're going to get something more durable with a more expensive rest. This is primarily made out of a metal material. QADs is mostly plastic, but you're going to have a micro adjust clicking for the fine-tune left and right, and this is going to be more convenient setting up your center shot and tuning your bow than it would be to have to pop an Allen and finger adjust, basically eyeballing where you're moving your left and right adjustments. So number 5 for me is going to be new strings. Aftermarket strings are a really good accessory you can throw on your bow. I recommend, depending on how hard you are in your strings, swapping them out every season or every couple seasons. A good set of strings, it'll eliminate that annoying peep twist. They won't stretch as badly after shooting them for a couple hundred shots. And it can also help your bow stay in time a little bit better. Like I said, if they're not stretching as badly. But you can pick a good set of aftermarket strings up for like $150 to $200, and they go on pretty easily. It's something you can do pretty quick if you have your own bow press, or a quick job if you take it into the shop. I normally shoot gas strings. There's a lot of good aftermarket strings out there that you can pick up, but that is my number 5. So if you're really tight on a budget and you're wanting to upgrade some stuff, a couple things that I wouldn't really worry about is going to be your quiver and your arrows. So for me, a quiver, really all it does is look good on your bow and can streamline your bow a little bit. I know I don't really like shooting with my quiver on, so I end up taking it off once I'm hunting or shooting in general. So all it's really doing is just holding your arrows. If you want to spend the extra jangle, you can definitely get an integrated quiver for whatever bow you have, but I really don't think that it's going to be adding much value to your bow besides some looks from the ladies because you've got a nice quiver on. But other than that, not a ton of added value there. And with the arrows, I wouldn't really recommend focusing too much on your arrows as one of your top upgrades, just because there's a big price difference between your 001 straightnesses and your 003s or 006s. The durability factor is going to be the same. You might see a little bit more wobble when you're spin testing them, but a lot of times when you're cutting arrows down, you're making them straighter, and you're really not going to see too much of a difference group wise and shooting wise. Maybe a little bit if you're shooting broadheads, but it's not going to be a ton. And most people can't outshoot arrows, including myself. I bet I could probably throw the same group together with a set of 1000 straightness and a set of 006 straightness arrows. So those two things I really wouldn't worry about too much. If you're trying to prioritize things that you would upgrade, I know that a lot of people love shooting the 001s and having nice quivers as well, but if you're trying to look for impactful upgrades, I probably wouldn't go with those two first. All right, guys, thank you for watching today's video. Like I said, those are my top 5 upgrades that I would do to a bow, and a couple things that I really wouldn't worry about upgrading first if I were you. I really think that good accessories can make the bow, and the bow doesn't necessarily make the accessories. I would probably take an older bow with a decked out setup over a brand new bow with not as good accessories. So keep that in mind. If you liked today's video, leave a like and subscribe. If you have any other questions or concerns, drop them in the comments and I'll try to get back to you, but I'll catch you in the next one.